Okay, I have a bunch of games to review. Um, let's start from this one. As you can see, the games that I have to review are 6 wins and 1 loss. So let's start from this one. Okay, here I play with the white pieces. A solid performance above 2000, an accuracy of almost 87%. Let's see what happened in the game. d4 as usual, d5, c4, e6, c3, so queen's gambit declined. Bishop in b4, pinning the knight. Here I develop my queen. Here the best move is to take here. Okay. And then, can I move here? No, what's the best move? Here, here maybe? No. Um, Probably. I don't like the fact that with this I block my dark square bishop, so maybe this one? Okay, this one. Yeah, defending the center. I see. I have to remember this. I have to remember this one. However, queen in b3, attacking the bishop. Here, the bishop, this when black takes. Instead, the best move is to defend with his pawn push in c5. And after that, what if I play this one? Okay. Now I can kick the... Wow. It's very complicated here. Is... No, because... Okay. So this one. Okay. And now this. After this, I have this. This doesn't work. Okay. Okay. This. Take. But I take with check, forcing the trade of queens. The position is still equal, even if it's a total mess for white. Okay, let's... Okay, here bishop takes the knight. I take back with the pawn. I thought that taking with the pawn was the best move, and instead here the best move is to play this one. And after this, I can pin the bishop here. Kick, bishop goes, bishop takes. And after this one, I guess. Yeah. And now I can take here. This has to develop. Okay. So, knight in f6. I develop my bishop, pinning the knight to the queen. Pawn in h6, kicking the bishop. The bishop goes back to h4. g5 for black, bishop in g3. Now black can develop the knight in c6. I can push my pawn to e3 so that I can develop my light square bishop. Knight in e4, attacking my bishop. Here I ignore the threat and develop my knight to f3. knight takes, and I take with the h pawn. And here my plan is to play on the to attack on the king side some way. Pawn takes. And here I took with the queen because I was worried about this one. And okay, it is true that this worked, but after this yeah, I didn't want to go through this line, honestly, because I want to attack on the king side. I don't want to exchange, because this line if you take this line you end up trading pieces, and I didn't want to do that. So here I don't develop my bishop, but I take with the queen. Black wants to trade queens. Here the fact is that my queen is defended by the bishop, so no rush to trade, and instead I brought my knight in h2 because I want to reroute it and bring it to g4 and attack on the king side. So queen takes, I take with the bishop, pawn in e5, I reroute my knight in f3, pawn takes, here black reroutes the knight in e7, which is a blunder, because now I can take the pawn. This was a free pawn in g5, and black can take, because otherwise he loses a rook. So knight in g5. Here black wants to trade bishops. I'm very happy because I will end up with gaining a pawn. Here I'm threatening a fork on c7. The king gets closer to defend that square and also to attack my knight. I bring my knight to c5 with check. The king gets closer, but the knight is defended by the pawn in d4, and I bring my rook behind the knight. The knight moves, I can take the pawn in b7, the rook goes to b8 attacking the knight has to go to a5. Here black tries to activate the rook. I can take that pawn for free, which looks like a missed move. You permitted the opponent to win material through a skewer. You had a better way. What's the skewer here? What's the skewer? Oh, what's the skewer? Explain? Ah. I totally didn't see this. I totally didn't see this. I'm still better, but things can get complicated. Okay. So luckily black didn't see this one and moves the knight. I give this check, the king moves, I still I didn't see that threat, so I keep attacking the knight. The knight has to move, and finally I capture that pawn with my rook, and now there is no skewer threat. The king has to move, and here I think that nothing interesting happens. I mean, I continue with my threat. Here I find this fork in c6, gaining the rook, and now it's just a matter of checkmate my opponent. Here yeah, I'm okay to trade everything because I have more pawns and those pawns can be promoted, so nothing interesting here. So things to learn from this game. This is the initial stuff here, because here the best move is to go in this line, and then there is this one. Okay, and then I think here, yeah, the skewer threat. The skewer threat. I should be careful here. Okay. Next to another game. Another win. Another victory. Again with white pieces. This time solid performance, 2300 and 93.5% accuracy. Maybe as you can see, only 13 moves. This game has been decided by big blunder by black. Let's see what happened. So d4 d5 pawn takes in c4. I develop my knight in f3. This is the queen's gambit accepted. Bishop in g4, which is already an inaccuracy. I have to remember this one. This is the best move. This is the best move, and then I can get the center. So instead I played pawn in e3, knight in f6, and I take the pawn in c4 with my bishop. I move the bishop again to b5, pinning the knight. Here I take, doubling the black's c pawns. I castle here, no rush to attack that c6 pawn. Pawn in e6 for black that wants to develop the dark square bishop. I kick the bishop. The bishop moves back to h5. I develop my knight to d2. Now the knight is protecting the knight in f3, and I can move my queen. So bishop in d6, queen in c2. Now I am attacking the pawn in c6. Here this is a mistake by black that is threatening my queen, but my queen takes with check in c6. Here black blocks with the knight. I bring my knight closer to the action. Here I'm attacking the dark square bishop, and here the final blunder by black, because he moves the queen in e7, but now I can take, and this was a free rook, and probably here the best move is to block with the queen. I can trade, and then I want to simplify. I'm up a rook. The evaluation bar is plus 5.60, so here nothing to learn except from when in Queen's Gambit accepted, when black develops the bishop in g4, the move is knight in e5, attacking the bishop, and then taking the center. Now, the idea is to fianchetto the bishop, probably. I can develop as well. We have these. I can protect with... okay, and the game goes on. Just move. White is so much better here. Okay. Next game. We have seen Duff. Now let's see. Okay, this one. Again, very solid performance. 94% accuracy. Again, a performance of 2300. And also this game has been decided by a blunder by my opponent. So let's see what happened. Now I play with black. In this game I play with black. E4, E6, D4, D5, E5, French defense, advanced variation, C5, knight in F3, knight in C6, C3, bishop in D7, bishop in D3, and these were all book moves. And now here I move the bishop in e7. My idea here is to break the center of white. Probably it was better to play this. What about this one? It's okay. Here... oh, this one. And then I have to move. Take. Check. Okay, white is better here. So probably the way to go is this one. Yes. The way to go is this one. Okay, castle, pawn in f6 to break the center. White takes, I take with my knight. Bishop in g5, attacking my knight. I castle. Queen in c2 with a battery pointing towards h7. But here I play pawn in c4, attacking the bishop, and now the bishop has to... the fact that the bishop has to move and can't attack c7 because there is this one. And after this, and I'm super okay with this position. As you can see, the position is I'm up a piece. So here white has to move the bishop and instead decides to attack to capture my knight. And now, instead of capturing back with my bishop, I can take with the pawn attacking the queen. So the queen has to move and I can capture the bishop. Instead, the bishop takes my white decide to capture my bishop, but again I can ignore the threat and then I can capture the white's queen, and because now I'm threatening to take the knight and promote to a queen. So again, bishop takes my queen, I capture the knight and promote to a queen. Rooks have to, one of the two rooks has to capture my newly promoted pawn. And now I can take the bishop with the a rook. And now I think the game went on for a couple of moves, but I'm up one piece, so no great chances for white to win this game. I remember this. This is an error. Because here I remember that my idea was to go in this square c4, but actually that is not so good. That is not a, this is a chess.com says this is a fine move, but I don't like it. I don't like this because let's make this move, which is the best move, attacking the bishop, but creating putting the knight in this nice outpost. Now the knight can't really go here because after this I lose a pawn, and can go back. However, I bring back. Okay, so best move for white. I bring back my bishop, protecting that e6 pawn. White plays pawn in b3, so restricting the mobility of my knight, that now has to go back to c6, attacking the white's knight. White doesn't want to trade, and here I bring my rook behind the e6 pawn, and the opponent resigned. Okay, nothing. So here, yeah, I thought that this was a plan in the French defense, but I don't know. Maybe I should study the French defense to understand which are the plans to be played in depending on what happens during the game. But let's continue with the game reviews. We have these 51 moves. Nice game, 82% 98% accuracy, a performance of 2000. Let's see what happened. Again with black, e4, e6, d4, d5, pawn takes in d5, I take back with the pawn. So this is the French defense exchange variation with the queen-knight variation. I think it's the name of this. So I developed the knight in f6 to protect that pawn. Knight in f3, pawn in the bishop in d6, bishop in e2, castle, castle, pawn in bishop in g4, rook in e1, knight in d7, bishop in g5. Here both white and black are just developing the pieces. c6, solidifying the center and protecting the pawn in d5. h3, kicking my bishop. I bring my bishop back. Queen in d3. I can attack the queen using my bishop in g6. The queen has to move in d2. I can bring out my queen in b6, b3, pawn in b3, which seems to be a mistake. Oh, here the idea was to pinning this one. After this I have to take. Oh, after this there is this, but if this I can take. I see. So white wants to trade bishops. I accept. Queen takes. Now I develop my bishop, and now the knight is pinned to that rook. Actually, the knight can unpin itself because with knight in a4, white is attacking my queen. So I take with check with my rook. Rook takes, and now I create this battery pointing towards the e1 rook. The rook moves. I develop my knight in a more active square. Here I'm attacking the bishop, even if it is defended by the knight in f3. And here the bishop goes back to d2, attacking my bishop. I capture with my bishop, which seems to be a mistake. The best idea here, I mean, trading all the pieces. Okay. Here I'm happy to trade because now I think I have a better pawn structure and I can win this game. Here the idea, this, and now this. Okay. This probably wants to go here. Check. And now here. Some way black is better, but okay. However, so g6, king in f2. Here I lift my rook to the 4th rank. The king gets closer, but here I can push my pawn. This is a missed move. It was better to force double pawns. Here I think that white thought that this rook was protected only by this f pawn, but after pawn in g4 I can take with check. It takes. I can bring my king closer. Here black wants to trade rooks. I decide to accept. King captures the rook but is far away from the critical squares, so here I can push my g-pawn. Here I'm happy to capture that pawn with check. King takes, but now I have some pawn moves that will make me win the game. So pawn a4 for white, I take, he takes. I move my knight to e6, and now the king cannot infiltrate in my camp, because this square is restricted, also this one, and so he has this move that is losing. King in e3, because now I can advance with my king. Again the king moves, but I can push this pawn. I can trade, I can capture. Now those pawns on the king's side can be captured, and the king can capture my h6 pawn, but is very slow with respect to me. So I will promote with check. And now after this I'm also happy to give my queen for that pawn, because I can easily capture the white pawn in a4 and go to promotion. Don't remember here, quite complicated game. I think I missed a few tactics, but nothing to learn. Okay, let's review this game and then I will stop. In this game I played with black against his Ukrainian opponent. Bad game with a lot of mistakes and blunders from both sides. Let's see what happened. e4, e6, d5, e5. We are already out of theory, but after bishop in c5 check, I block with the bishop, bishop takes, I take back with the knight because I want to attack that pawn in e5. White develops the knight in f 3, and here I go with the plan of the French defense. It is true, I see the point of the coach here in the top right corner. That doesn't help development and create holes around your king. It is totally true because after this one, okay, it looks like that I have the center, okay, but actually the evaluation bar is slightly in favor of white, and I think that's because this square, for example, will be a nice outpost for a knight or for a bishop. So, for example, at a certain point, now I can go there, but also this will be a weakness for all the game. Also because I don't have the light square bishop that can protect this pawn. So I see the positional issues with this plan. However, pawn takes in e5, pawn takes. Now I develop my knight in e7. Here white plays this knight in b5. I don't see the point. The point is that if I do a stupid move like this, it's mate. Yeah. However, I can play this one, I can force the knight to go back, I can attack it, and now I'm up a piece. I castle queenside, and now I think now I have a good advantage, and I just have to manage this advantage and convert it to a win. So I capture this free pawn in c3, bishop in f4, knight in d5, attacking the bishop. Now I want to simplify because I'm up a piece. Knight goes back, bishop goes back to g3. I develop my dark square bishop in e7. White brings the rook on the semi-open b file. I block that. Basically, I closed that file with my knight, and here my idea is that if white plays this to bring my make me move the knight, I can simply play this, forcing the exchange, and I'm very happy. However, here white plays queen in e4. I capture another pawn, asking for the exchange. Again, here, yes, there is this mate threat in b7 that I have to be very careful of. What's the... Oh yes, this is here I'm losing a piece on the spot because after this I have to take, and he can take back with the rook, and I've lost a knight after all the exchanges. So I should have been more careful about that. Okay, again, queen in c1. Here I was worried about capturing that pawn in h5, so I prefer to start to push my pawn on the king side, so pawn in h5, pawn in h3 seems to be, oh, I missed this one because that that pawn is defended very well by both the bishop and the knight, but it is pinned, so that knight was free to be taken. White doesn't see that. Pawn in h3. I attack with pawn in h4. Attack the bishop with pawn in h4. Here I did a lot of mistakes here. Also because I didn't see the threat on the knight. So rook to f8. Here the rook is attacking my queen, and okay, it's the same team as before. Here I'm trying to exchange to trade queens. The queen moves. I unpin my king. I unpin my pawn by moving the king. Again, the rook is attacking my queen. I bring my queen to d3, trying to exchange, but white didn't realize that his queen is hanging, so I'm very happy to capture it, and it's game over because my opponent resigns. So that's all for today, and I will review these 3 games in another video. So see you in the next one. Ciao ciao.